Welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Debaters, where this week we are going to be fighting over what is the best movie tie-in game. So, what that is a game that was released alongside of a movie or a game based on a movie.
Sorry, what was it? What was that? One more time?
A game that was released alongside a movie or a game based on a movie.
The reason why Al has to explain this is because I had to explain it to him when I said, "Oh, we should do this."
I had no idea what a movie tie-in game was,
and he's judging.
And I'm judging, and I made it up as I went along, so everyone had got a different definition when I sent it around. It's going to be fun, but we're going to start with the icebreaker.
The icebreaker.
Traveling around the game is a big part of the whole experience, and everyone has their favourite methods. So we're going to go around the room, well, several rooms, and we're going to find out what each bard thinks is their favourite way to travel. Geordie, how you doing, my friend?
Good.
What is your favourite way to travel in the game?
My favourite way to travel, I chose the way of travelling in a game which wasn't the best in the series, and that's Saints Row 4. And it sort of just went downhill after that, and but it was quite fun to be able to run around and jump really high and kind of fly in Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4. Or IV if you pick.
Or Roman.
And it was fun.
Goddamn Romans.
It was fun, but it was weird to put in a game which is mostly about driving around for the past 3 game entries, and then now you basically have no need to drive around, and it was very strange, but it was still quite fun, and it was sort of prototypey.
Yeah, I was going to say this is very much a prototype way of travelling, jumping.
But it was a lot of fun.
Those are enjoyable. I do enjoy that way of travelling in prototype. Well, next move to Rob. How you are? How you are?
How I am well. How
it's
you?
me tired. Brain no work. Rob, what's your favourite way to travel in the game?
My favourite way to travel in the game is by bus. Getting on GTA 5 and just hopping on a bus and just literally crawling around the cities. I just love the idea that you've got the option to steal, all the cars in any car you want, or you can probably put in a cheat code and spawn some sort of, flying car, or you could get on the bus.
Just upgrade on public transport.
There's nothing more immersive than standing in the bus stop and waiting for the bus to turn up and just sitting in the bus and then going off to make a cup of tea and coming back, and you're at a different part of the city. It's great.
So essentially, your favourite way to travel in a game is
by bus.
Sit on a bus and then go away.
Yeah,
come back.
Leave it for others.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue against that. Next, we'll move on to Paddy. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, man. So my favourite way to travel in a game is probably gonna have to be swinging around the city as Spider-Man.
Oh, I knew that'll come up eventually.
Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4. Hey, move the crate, Spider-Man. Hey, you can swing to save the girl. No, it's just so satisfying to whip swing around. Spider-Man PS4, the new one. It's so much fun, and you can just do it forever and ever and ever, Ali.
Yeah, well, I did have a little taster of it when we were up at PGX, and I did enjoy the swinging around, so I can definitely agree with that one. But I think mine...
Al Roberts likes swinging.
I do like swinging.
Put it on the box.
Put it on every box. But I just have to say mine is similar to Geordie's, but it's sort of gliding around when you get like wingsuits. So I think Just Cause has them. Just being able to launch... Far Cry 4, yeah. It's like just being able to launch yourself off something and just gliding. It's so much fun. I use it a lot in GTA, but it's not a wingsuit, it's just you falling, but you're able to slightly control yourself before you go splat. So, I mean, it's... I just like the whole gliding aspect of
Do you like the gliding in like Assassin's Creed 2?
I don't think I've actually...
Shit.
I mean, so I remember you mentioned it a few podcasts ago.
The greatest invention
I really
ever.
Don't remember that part of the game. So either
it was in the main part of the story, but yeah, it was absolute shit.
Yeah. But that's our icebreaker. So let us know in the comments what your favourite way to travel in the game is. There are hundreds of them. We've just only touched a few. But now we're going to move on to the main segment and the mass debate.
The mass debate.
So this week we are going to be arguing about what game is the best movie tie-in. So as I said earlier, it's a game that's released alongside a movie or a game based on a movie. It's going to be wildly different because I had no idea what it was, and I told everyone different definitions because I was confused. But I think everything's going to be roughly along the same lines. Let's see, who shall I start with the pitch? Geordie, you kicked off the icebreaker, you're going to kick off the pitches.
Fuck yeah. I went with I think it was the first movie tie-in game I ever got, and that was Shrek 2 in 2004 for the Nintendo GameCube.
He wins.
We're off to a flyer.
Quit.
I genuinely loved this game. I thought it was brilliant. It was brilliant to play with friends because it was always 4 characters and you could switch between them and they all had different abilities. But then it also, as well as kind of following the same plot as the film, it expanded so much upon the world, and it was brilliant, and it invented or introduced new characters that weren't in the film, and it was pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting answer. I don't think I've ever actually played the game, but I'm looking forward to seeing how you find this. We will move on to Paddy next. What's your answer going to be? I have a feeling we're going to hear a theme.
Hey man, what you talking about? Hey, Spider-Man. So a long time before they had to line up the cranes for Spider-Man, he fought Dr. Octopus in a film with Alfred Molina. It was good. Alfred Molina's great. So yeah, I'm going for Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 because that was just fun. Like you got to swing around. Like it was just swinging and getting balloons and then swinging and delivering pizza. And then eventually doing some missions in there as well. I mean, it was the full Spider-Man experience, all lovely wrapped up, and you know, it was. I think you can say how good it was based on how excited everybody was for the new one to be like, this is going to be the best Spider-Man since that Spider-Man, and they were right, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2 is always a one that's been mentioned a lot, and I have it here. That's one I've played and I enjoyed it. So, good answer, Paddy.
Doubt it.
I did back in the day. It wasn't on my PS though. I played it on a friend's. Rob, we'll move to you next. Let's round off all the pitches with the best.
Well, I went with what is the obvious choice and probably a correct choice. Let's be honest. I went for the N64 title, GoldenEye, obviously based on the film, on the James Bond film. Probably, you know, up there as a cultural icon, let's say. People who, you know, both gamers and non-gamers, if you're over the age of 20, like you're going to know what GoldenEye is on the N64. That's just how it is. It was really the first console gaming that really got like the split screen, the multiplayer, like the single player campaign was awesome, all the cheats were fun, all the big head modes, all the mania. There's 100 reasons that I could give. So I look forward to fighting it.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to knock down. But those are 3 excellent games. Shrek 2 is... I'm looking forward to seeing where that one goes. But now we're going to move on to a bit of a free-for-all where I just let everyone loose on each other. They argue it out until I tell them to stop, and then I will pick a winner from the argument, basically. So, fight.
Jody, no, I have so many questions about Shrek 2.
Yeah, I think we should talk about Shrek 2 first.
I just have so many questions. I want to know who the other characters were that they introduced. Expand the world of Shrek for me. Change my life.
Because weirdly enough, I actually watched Shrek 2, the movie, the other day. So
Did
I
you?
am equipped. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. So what do you say, Red Riding Hood?
They introduced Red Riding Hood.
Okay, who else?
The Black Knight. The
racist
Piper. Yeah, that was a mission.
The Pied Piper. Okay, nice. And do you play as Shrek? Do you play as Donkey? Like, tell the people. This has become
4 characters.
4 characters. This has become the most important thing we've
It's
ever
always
done.
4 characters, so you can play as Shrek, Fiona, Donkey,
Fiona,
the Gingerbread Man,
the Muffin Man.
the wolf. What's his name?
The three blind mice, and the screen just goes black. And
there's a what's it called? What's it called when you have to take someone somewhere? They're in every video game. Escort
missions.
mission
Okay,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
three
that
blind
sounds
mice,
like loads of
which
fun.
is
Really
That
sounds
sounds
hard
great.
As,
That
it's
was
hard as fuck
I
because you
would've-
have to like figure out. There's like different puzzles, and if you don't make it in time, the mice will die, and it's horrible.
Well,
but it's brilliant.
I can actually say
At the
from
same time.
hands-on experience with a Shrek 2 as well, it is. I'm not going to say it's a bad game because it's not, but it's a 6 to 7 out of 10 game. You know what I mean? It's like it's just it's middle of the road. It's pleasing, but it's not fantastic. It's it's a tie-in game that's
Stop reading my dating
sell.
profile.
Yeah, it's a movie tie-in game that's just out there at a service and a seller brand, and it didn't really do anything outstanding. It was just quite a good game for kids. So yeah,
I didn't know it existed.
It was perfect for what it was.
It was also it fit the mold, but at the same time, like when you say, is it the best movie tie-in game? Of course, it's not. Of course, it's not. I mean, you got X-Men Origins or Wolverine, which was a great game. You got the Bourne Conspiracy, which was a pretty good shot. You got so many like brilliant like movie tie-in games, even though it's known to be quite a genre. But you've gone for Shrek 2.
Yeah,
you're a madman.
I went for the one that was released
for...
alongside the film, which is what I was told were the rules, and I do believe GoldenEye was released in 1995. 2 years before.
I'll have you know that actually
N64 game.
The Shrek game actually released 2 weeks before the film, so fuck you.
Same year.
Yeah, but it didn't come
Same
out
year
with
as
if you're quoting
2.
that, if you're saying the time frame is a problem, then obviously yours not coming out on the day of the release. The fact of the matter is, yours come out 2 weeks prior to the film. I actually mean it come out with spoilers.
So tie-in games.
Yeah, and that's
films games that tied in, not the ones that shared the same story. Otherwise, I would have gone with Lego Star Wars.
Wait, are you saying that Shrek 2 the game spoiled Shrek 2 the movie?
It did.
Nul point. Alistair, remove him from this debate.
If you were a big Shrek fan and you didn't want the Shrek
what do you mean
ruined for you, yeah, I know, right?
Why would you buy the game based on Shrek 2 before seeing the film?
Because you're a
dumb
fan.
kid who loves Shrek.
It's called Shrek.
Wants to play with Donkey.
It's called Shrek 2, and
it's outrageous. For you to bring out your game before the movie is outrageous. I'm sorry.
I'm outraged.
See, he's outraged. I'm outraged. We're both outraged. That's
I don't have any
1.
feelings. I'm going to try and filibuster this so we don't have to talk about GoldenEye. Jordy, tell me more about your game. Yeah, no, Shrek 2, no, I can't see it as being one of the best.
Another thing as well, it didn't even have the original voice actors. They didn't even get Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy and stuff.
But you had hilarious
hilarious, like terrible impressions. They weren't even hilarious. They were just cringe. They were bad. It didn't even feel like just playing Shrek.
Quite good. No, you had the weird Shrek guy shouting, "Oh, girl power!"
Yeah, it made
every
no
few
sense.
seconds.
It didn't sound like. It didn't sound
it's
like
quotes
Mike Myers.
It's quotes that is followed through with me in from my childhood into now my adulthood, where I will now go. It's hero time.
Well, you can love that in your little a bubble if you want, but when you look at things at the grand scheme, Shrek 2 did fuck all. That's it.
Except it made Jordy happy, which has,
yeah, it has a value.
It has its merits.
Of, like, what is important in the video game industry, it doesn't all hinge on what makes Jordy Steele happy, I'm afraid.
I thought that's what we were doing.
So shall we talk about Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, go on.
Spider-Man.
How good was it? If it didn't have the swinging, how good would it be?
Terrible.
The game about the swinging, isn't it? That's the point.
Like
being Spider-Man.
Like, that's not going to win.
There was a lot of annoying bits of Spider-Man, and much as this web swinging was great, like Jordy says, take that aside. Like the fighting actually wasn't that bad, but like you said it yourself, like the balloon missions, they were just bloody tedious and awful. I remember there was one story mission where you had to try and get over to the Empire State Building. No, not it's the Empire State Building. The fucking woman with the torch, I forget her name, a Statue of Liberty. Oh yeah, I forgot her fucking name.
Yeah,
Brenda.
I was sitting there going, she was donated by the French, but I know that, but I don't know her fucking name.
Lady Eiffel Tower.
So yeah, like there's one where you got to swing out to there on balloons, and it's fucking awful. I spent
It's a game of its time. That is what
definitely.
that is what it was. I mean,
but
GoldenEye doesn't hold up at all. Like
I'm not saying GoldenEye's hold
no,
up,
but you know, like in
had
terms
those
of
moments. Perhaps the last level,
Compared
which
to
is
its
pretty
far
fair.
superior sequel, GoldenEye Rogue Trooper, or Rogue Agent, even.
No, just shut up.
I loved that game as a child.
Again,
I hate it now.
you just go back to your bubble, Jordy. You love that bubble, but shut up, Jordy.
That's stale.
Yeah, you just sit back,
Ignorance is bliss.
yeah,
it definitely, I agree with
But
that.
Spider-Man 2, yeah, man, it's. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's an awful, terrible game, because it wasn't. It was.
No, it was
probably
highly
up
revered.
there.
Actually, what it did was it put the superhero games on the map in a way that they had never been before, and it used a Spider-Man, a pretty decent Spider-Man film to do that. And I think what kind of set it apart from other movie tie-in games, like GoldenEye had, like, it followed the film, which was good, but it wasn't trying to be a movie tie-in, whereas most of the ones that do, and this one was like a shit, but this one actually somehow avoided the curse of being just a really, really bad retelling of the film. I mean, it obviously it doesn't hold up now, not at all. But
yeah, there's a lot of story beats they put in that which were really weird as well. I remember the Black Cat missions being really odd and weird and really fiddly as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember being in, I think I was visiting a family in Australia, the PS2, and I was just playing Spider-Man, and like my little cousins were just amazed at me swinging around. That's what it was. It was just this really, I think a movie tie-in is supposed to make you feel like you are the character, like, make you feel like you're part of that world, and it did that. Even if it was only one mechanic that did that, it did that really, really well. Whereas I think Shrek 2 spoiling the movie is just
it's outrageous, isn't it?
I'm outraged. I remain outraged.
I'm outrageous.
Well, if
outraged.
anything, it spoiled a better movie than GoldenEye or Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2
GoldenEye is a
GoldenEye is a
fantastic
great
movie.
film. That's one of the
And Spider-Man 2 is as well.
that's
All
one of
three of
the-
these films. Sean
Pierce
Bean.
Brosnan and Sean Bean.
Sean
Actually,
Bean's
there's
great.
one thing I've got to say out of everything.
Go.
Both of your two's game doesn't have a polygon model of a Sean Bean in it.
True.
Whereas mine does. Which, how can you argue against that?
For
I
England,
have Sean
James?
Bean, who you can kill.
Well, that's in his contract, I think. If he's in something,
You know what?
he
It
must
is the Sean
die.
Bean
You have to.
a simulator. And I think more importantly, like the one point that I think it's really hard for me to argue against Spider-Man 2, and I think Paddy's in the same position. It's really hard for him to argue against a GoldenEye. But the one difference I'd say between the two is when you think about the movie versus like the game, Spider-Man 2. If someone just walked up to me and said, Spider-Man 2, my first thought wouldn't be the Spider-Man 2 game. My first thought would be the movie, would be the Sam Raimi movie with Dr. Octavius and all that. That would be the first image that comes in my head. Someone came up to me and said, a GoldenEye, my first thought would be of the N64 game. It wouldn't be of
Zanya on
Pierce
top.
Brosnan and whoever the bad guy. Oh yeah, it was Sean Bean, wasn't it? Whoever the bad guy was. I was
You're having a
talking
ripper
about
night,
him.
mate.
I more remember the fact that it had Sean Bean in it than the fact that Sean Bean was in the film. That's how much I remember about the film
Sean
GoldenEye.
Bean.
I do remember the bit with the pen. That was pretty cool.
Boris.
But outside of that, but I remember Spider-Man 2, the movie, like pretty much scene for scene. I love that movie. It's fantastic. And I think when you talk about the cultural impact of the two games, I think when a game can transcend the actual film itself, then it's in a different league. And as much as
but I mean, the bit that does transcend it has nothing to do with the film. It's like the multiplayer is what everyone remembers it for. Which is the thing. I mean, the single player was fun, but
the single player was brilliant as well.
The multiplayer is why GoldenEye is what it is. Like, if someone was like, "Oh, I want GoldenEye out again," they'd probably be happy with just the multiplayer. Wouldn't even bother with.
No, you'd be livid, wouldn't you? No, come on.
I mean, I would, but like in terms of
just a local
what people remember.
Imagine if they remade GoldenEye.
And
Are you saying they did that, Jordy?
they did that in 2010. Ish, yeah, like they did it. But
Actually, saying that, so GoldenEye is this absolute treasure that everybody loves. It gets remade in 2008. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, because it's like
no one even gives a shit.
Because
people don't even know it happened.
Like the first person genre is already saturated. Why are you coming out with GoldenEye in 2010? It's
because
like
it's a remake. It's a remake of this game that if they remade Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, people would go fucking nuts. But they remade GoldenEye, which is meant to be this seminal, amazing, incredible game that everyone loves, and no one gives a fuck.
It doesn't
Jordy,
take away from the original one at all. It doesn't take away.
Well, it does.
From the original.
It means that it's just
if
something
you say,
that
are you
came
saying
and
because
went.
of that the original GoldenEye was less fun when you played it? No, it doesn't. It makes no impact on the impact it had on the industry.
If you play it now, it's trash.
I'm gonna jump in.
So Spider-Man 2.
Before we boil over and then the claws come out, and you two start like slapping each other. So
Just saying.
I'm going to apply a touch of water and I'll go around.
Jordy has a fork.
Put the fork down, Jordy. We don't want any trouble.
Fork in hell.
So I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask each of you the same question, but based on obviously your game. Start with Jordy. Jordy, what does Shrek 2 add to Shrek 2 the movie?
It adds more story and it adds more
spoilers.
world.
Paddy, same question. What does Spider-Man 2 add to Spider-Man 2 the movie?
You actually get to feel like the incredible character that you've only ever seen on screen.
Rob, same question.
You get to play through the entire story of James Bond and inhabit the character of James Bond, who's one of the coolest sort of characters to inhabit. And also, it's a fun multiplayer experience that you can play with all your friends around and enjoy.
You have 3 friends.
So this is actually
2 players.
I say this pretty much every week, but this one was very, very difficult between 2 games.
Shrek 2 and Shrek 2?
Shrek 2 and Shrek 2, indeed. For some reason, Shrek 1 was in there as well. But I think, unfortunately, Shrek 2 just got argued out of the ring immediately. It was ganged up, it was tossed out, it was beaten. They called the council.
Different rules for the choices.
No, I mean, it was a good choice. It just got argued out. So it has to be left with GoldenEye and Spider-Man 2. 2 great games, 2 great arguments, and I'm gonna have to put my personal preferences aside and go with just what the argument says.
You've never done that before. So
I have never done that before. I've always gone for my personal preference, and I've
never
decided
long before the debate started.
Oh yeah, I've never listened to a word you guys said. But I think this one, there were so many good points for and against each one that I flopped quite a lot between the 2. I think Spider-Man started off on top. GoldenEye then took over. I mean, you 2 argued it well. You brought up some good points and counters. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Spider-Man 2. Simply because, yeah.
Mate, you're shit at judging.
Hey, give my reasoning. Let me give my reasoning.
Go for
I don't even think I'm right.
How are you mad, mate?
I think in the argument, Paddy was talking about how Spider-Man 2 linked a lot better with the actual movie. Whereas GoldenEye, as a standalone game, is brilliant. But
you're not allowed to judge again. Let's put it
hey! This is my show now. I've taken over.
Can I judge next time?
I've taken over. I'm giving it to Spider-Man.
Jordy's gonna judge.
I'm giving it to Spider-Man 2, and I don't care what no one says. I think for me the argument was well made, and GoldenEye is a fantastic game. But I mean, if you want a movie tie-in, you want something that kind of goes along with the movie, add extra to the movie. Whereas GoldenEye just is a great game. Adding to the movie.
It goes along with the movie, though. What are you on about?
Well, I mean, it came out 2 years.
Exactly.
It came out 2 years after the movie.
Sorry, mate. I shouldn't argue about your judgment.
You shouldn't argue.
Took me by surprise.
GoldenEye came out 2 years after the movie as well. So it never really had that full feel of this is the movie. This is the game following on from the movie. Whereas Spider-Man 2...
Wrap it up, Al. Wrap it up, because you're not going to talk your way out of this one.
I'm not talking my way out of this. I mean, obviously, the bards completely disagree with that, I think, but if you agree, disagree, think something completely different, put it down in the comments, let the argument reign, let hate fall upon me for not choosing GoldenEye, even though it would have been my personal choice, but I think in the argument, Spider-Man 2 won, so I could be wrong, I could be right, so let me know in the comments. So thanks for watching. This has been some shambles, I guess, of the A Bit Debaters. Do check out the channel for more stuff. We have our features on the Monday, which are absolutely brilliant. So go check them out. We just is Destiny 3 is going to be released? Who knows? Find out. Watch the video. And on Fridays we have all of our opinions and lists and all the other nice stuff. So go watch that as well. And streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So keep eyes out for that. And yeah, join our Discord. Link will be in the description below. So thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you next week. I may not survive the night. Bye.
Rob will never forgive you. Bye.